When it comes to making a game, sounds are often pretty overlooked. People usually hyperfixate on visuals, which I personally don't care much about. I don't care if the game looks 2 decades old. If it has a nice style, has great gameplay, and has sounds that aren't grabbed from some stock library, I'll have a good time. Good sounds contribute a lot more to games than you would think. Not only are they important for immersion, but they have a very real and tangible effect on gameplay, which is why it's sad that War Thunder's sounds are so hit or miss. Now before I continue, I want to make one thing very clear. Whenever I talk about how War Thunder does things I don't agree with, the comments devolve into attacking the devs. It's important to remember, the guys in the trenches aren't making these decisions. Producers and directors are. You can have a polite disagreement with somebody. You don't have to jump to calling them incompetent. So keep that in mind. None of what I'm about to say is meant to attack the sound guy. From what I understand, he's an incredibly nice guy, and he's even talked directly to other CCs to gather feedback. He disagrees with how certain things should be handled, and that's fine. If we gather enough consistent feedback, maybe he'll change his mind. When it comes to talking about War Thunder's sound, there aren't just a few big flaws. It's more like a bunch of relatively small issues that add up, so I'll start with the thing that irks me the most. In tank battles, engine sounds are a huge part of the gameplay landscape. They give you a rough idea of where enemies are, so you're informed on where you should be keeping your attention. Sure, you might hear a bunch of engines off to your right somewhere, but there's a single much louder engine sound off to your left, and it's getting louder, so someone is probably about to jump you. Engine sounds used to be fairly consistent. Their fidelity may not have been amazing, but they were very useful. That's not really the case nowadays. Not only do engine sounds vary wildly from vehicle to vehicle, but someone can sneak up on you without making any noise at all, like they're using a hybrid power pack or something. There are a few explanations for these problems. First, inconsistent engine noises. You may have seen some posts from Gaijin where they talk about recording authentic sounds. They've done it for quite a few tanks now. It does add some authenticity, but by and large, these authentic sounds are extremely loud compared to everything else. The Japanese Type 74 is a great example. The engine sounds great, but you can hear it from hundreds of meters away, and you can immediately identify it's a Type 74. Why are authentic sounds specifically louder? It could be that they really want people to notice the sound, since they put so much effort into it, or they simply forgot to normalize it compared to everything else. Both are pretty likely. Furthermore, the way War Thunder handles directional audio isn't great. This is dumbing things down a bit, but the zoning isn't very precise. Someone could be more off to your rear, but the game continues to play audio like he's off to your side. Apparently, fixing this is pretty simple as changing a setting in Fmod Studio, but Gaijin haven't done it. To give them the benefit of the doubt, I'm gonna guess it's some kind of technical limitation. Also, if someone drives towards you really quickly, their engine will be basically silent, because it doesn't have time to build up. Past a specific distance, the engine sound should be playing at a certain level, but because of some bug or deliberate decision, the sound starts at 0 and slowly ramps up. The latter would work if the distance was extended, but it hasn't been. This apparently affects certain tanks more than others, though it does obviously help light tanks more. Wheeled vehicles especially seem to make basically no engine noise, even if they've had time for the sound to ramp up. Sound priority is also really off. It feels like if an IFV is firing 500 meters away, it drowns out the sounds of a tank right next to me. When I'm trying to figure out what to do, I don't really need to know what's happening far away. I need to know what's going on in my immediate vicinity. There's one bug that's been popping up for me recently, and it's guns not making any noise. This seems to affect autocannons more than anything, especially the Type 87 RCV. Here's an example. As for issues with specific sounds, cars being run over are extremely loud. So are jet engines. If you guys have similar issues, let me know. I'll try to pass as much feedback as I can. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.